Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hang Out with Michael. We are live here every Friday at 9 o'clock Pacific time, and that's 12 noon Eastern. We have friends all over the world that are joining us. Matter of fact, today we are at episode number, here it is, episode 182. That means for 182 Fridays, we've been here to uplift you, inspire you, and give you the tools and processes so you can live a rich, awesome life. Say yes if you're in. Hey, John, welcome and good morning.
Good morning. I'm in.
You're in. Okay. Well, today is Ask Your Question. Today is Q&A day. John will be representing the emotion code and body code questions, and I'm going to be taking questions on my 3 books, Law of Attraction, an NLP, and my new book, Fulfillment Needs. So get ready. John and I are going to be reading the questions live. So ask your questions, and we will get to them shortly. Hey. My name is Michael Losier, in case you don't know that already. My hunch is you do because you're already on my page. If somebody forwarded you this link, be sure to go to facebook.com, Michael Losier Fans, and Losier is spelled Losier, and you can get notified live every Friday. Hey, you'd like to know what the subject is on Wednesday so you can plan your Friday? We can help you with that too. Go to HangoutWithMichael.com, subscribe to get updated what Wednesday topic is so you can get ready and join us. And aren't you glad that today you're here for Q&A day because we've got the answers, you've got the questions. John, I'm going to introduce him in a second, and he's going to then see who's saying what live this morning. So I'm here in beautiful Victoria, BC, and again, we host the show every Friday, and I'm just delighted that you're here. So today, be typing your question and answers. And before we do that, John and I are going to talk about the emotion code, talk about the body code, just to get you kind of stirred up this morning about what kind of questions to ask. So John, introduce yourself and say good morning to the questioners and people watching live today.
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. My name is John Inverarity, and I'm a certified emotion code and body code practitioner. And I love helping people attract more of what they want into their lives and less of what they don't want. So helping people with chronic pain, attracting more abundance, more wealth, better relationships.
Yes. One of the things we're going to talk about today, John, we're going to let people peek inside of our appointment calendar, and we're going to tell them, because I have 2 stories. Well, I have 3. Remember the barber I went to yesterday? Hey, shout out to my barber and what I did at the barber shop yesterday. We should have filmed it. It was awesome. So, John, we're going to share some of our stories today about how we're using the emotion code. You know what I really want? You know Teresa Caputo, the Teresa Caputo show, the Long Island Medium, and she stops people on the street. If I had enough nerve, I'd like to help some people on the street that I know have chronic pain. But guess what? It doesn't always go so well. So we're going to do it old school. We're going to have people ask us for permission. John, let me know when people are making comments or when that process starts and when we go live here on Facebook. So good morning, everybody. If you've joined us and watching us, we are here to take your questions. So John, before we get started, well, we are getting started. What did we say before we get started? We are started, and we're live here on Facebook. And John, let's introduce the subject of the emotion code. Now, we have first-time viewers. We have people that already heard it, but the more you hear it, the better it is. Describe the process of the emotion code, what it means, what are trapped emotions, and then we will stimulate some questions. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, well, a trapped emotion is a stuck emotional energy from an unprocessed emotional event in the past, a negative emotion. Right. And the emotion code, the technique, it was developed by Dr. Bradley Nelson, and there's a book as well. It's a great read. And in the book, in the process, we learn how to identify and release these trapped emotions that's contributing to your chronic pain and mental health concerns and blocking you from.
These are said trapped emotions. How many are there?
There's 60 trapped emotions.
60,
and those trapped emotions are getting in the way. A good analogy is the orange cone, road cones. So essentially, these trapped emotions are blocking you, getting in the way from you attracting what you want and moving forward in life.
And just so people understand, your subconscious mind stores everything you touched and ate and smelled and experienced and every feeling, everything. It remembers everything I'll say it again, it remembers everything, okay? So we get to find out what trapped emotion got stuck in stopping you because you say, I'd like to have this. And your subconscious mind says, too bad when you were 9 years old, remember on the playground? Well, you can't because of that incident. And our conscious mind doesn't know that, but the subconscious mind, it says, matter of fact, there could be 8 emotions that you had during that event that are stopping you from moving forward. Whew, how exciting. So now, John, tell us about, well, hey, your dad was on the show last week.
Last week.
What a show off he was. Hey, shout out to Jim Inverarity. He did an awesome job, and he enlightened all of us, mostly around the beliefs and the ages. Can you summarize what we talked about in episode number 181? We focused on beliefs, and really important for everybody here. John, can you give us a summary of what that show was about?
Yeah, well, limiting beliefs is what my dad spoke on, and these are in the body code. So a limiting belief is a statement, and they usually develop before the age of 7, as we're just taking it all in. We're basically in just this big absorption sponge mode, taking it all in before that age. And then these limiting beliefs, they're on replay for the rest of our lives, and they can definitely contribute to how we believe. They're exactly.
Yeah, I held a couple of cards like because your dad, isn't that cute? We don't even call him with his real name, James Imberary. he reminded us, he taught us that between the age of 1 and 6 is when we develop our belief systems, and it's things that our parents taught us and we observed, and we just took on beliefs. And then after the age of 7, we spend our whole lives proving those to be right, doing whatever we need to do to prove that belief that I made when I was 5. I made some, lots of them. They were all around food. They were all around being a big dude, a big kid, right? And with the emotion code, body code, honestly, I got rid of those beliefs, and now I'm my body. So if you watched episode number 1, yes, I've lost weight, probably about 36 pounds because of the body code, emotion code, because I got rid of beliefs that I've been trying to prove my whole life to make them exist. So, hey, and my buddy John helped me with that. Okay, John, who is saying what out there live today? Let's take a listen in and see who's saying what.
Absolutely, yeah. A few hellos. So we have a hello from Stephen Milan. Says hello. Hi, Stephen.
Hey, Stephen. Good morning.
Christine Bottoms Robinson says, I am in.
Hey, Christine. Good morning.
Cindy Trost. Hi, Cindy. Cindy's with us today. Carol Miller's here as well. Hello, Carol.
Well, we have to read what she says.
Carol, yeah.
She says this. Hello. She says, big fan of yours, Michael. What, you weren't going to tell us that part? Hey, Carol.
Just about to.
She said, big fan of yours, Michael, and consciously use law of attraction in my life. Lately, I'm getting stuck on being too busy and not enough time. Tips, please. Too busy and not enough time. Mm-hmm. Well, that could be a time management, what you could do to attract some time management. Here's the word I'm looking for, infrastructure. Sometimes I remember when my book first came out, right? I was busy. I was selling because I was selling from my house, in my basement, and people were ordering like 20 and 30 books a day. And then I was getting tired of that. And I thought, no, I was getting too busy. So then I asked for law of attraction. I said, I'd like to attract some infrastructure so I can put it to my business so I can grow. Same day, I met a woman that lived in the neighborhood that had a young baby and was looking for something to do an hour a day. So all the books that I sold, I forwarded the email, and now I got that looked after. So, and then I could build my business. So Carol, if you're thinking about, you want to grow your business and what you're doing, but it just feels like it's too busy, then maybe it's time to farm something out and attract the right person to do that. Hey, let us know if that helped. Good. John, who else is saying what?
Great tip. Thanks, Michael. Attract the infrastructure. It helped me grow my business.
Yeah.
Faye Phillips is here. Hey, Faye. Pamela Wanamaker. Hello, Pamela. She says, hello, Michael and John from Fountain Hills, Arizona.
Oh, good.
And
our friend Debbie Talbert, I'm just looking at Debbie Talbert. She's sometimes on the panel. Woo-hoot today. I get to watch live. Well, that's very great. So So I'm just going to talk a little bit about law of attraction, and that might stimulate some more questions from the live. Most importantly, I'm getting a lot of feedback about this particular graphic that I do. And, when we talk about, this is where emotion code comes into place. When we talk about desiring something, the desire puts the request out there, right? It's like, oh, I'd love to have one of these. Just that sentence launched the vibration of it, and you got excited, right? Hey, wouldn't it be nice if that's the only thing we had to do? Except that would be dangerous too, because you couldn't think of anything negative. So remember, everything negative, positive manifests. But this little graphic here is showing the faucet. And the faucet, where the drops are coming out, is what we're allowing. So this graphic is to teach us is that the allowing part is what determines the manifestation. It isn't the desire. If it was the desire, you'd have everything you already had. It's not the desire that determines the speed on which you get it. It's how much doubt and resistance. So, John, for the friends listening on podcast, can you tell me, it's pointing to the faucet handle, which is controlling how much we're allowing. What controls the faucet handle, and what are we calling it, please?
It's resistance. So we have blocks, negative vibes, doubt, and trapped emotions.
Yes, and trapped emotions, yes. Yeah, cute trapped emotions, yeah. Good. So yeah, once you loosen up and remove all that resistance, negative vibration, then the flow opens. So the speed, this is important. The speed at which law of attraction will allow and manifest what you desired is determined on how much resistance you have. So you don't need to make a bigger macaroni collage, and you don't need to tell 25,000 more friends, and you don't need to go to iwantomanifestthis.com and go there 25 times a day, post it. You need to be working on removing the resistance. What is yours? Is it beliefs? Is it blocks? Is it negative vibes? Is it doubt? Or is it trapped emotions? The speed at which this happens, that means the allowing, is determined on how tight the resistance is on the faucet. John, I want to talk about 2 emotion code sessions that I had this week that were pretty exciting, and give people an idea how exciting the work is. Both John and I are certified emotion code practitioners. John is also a body code practitioner. I carry one of these, not this big. I have a pocket model. I carry one of these around, and my trusted magnets. I go nowhere without them. So yesterday I go to my barber's place, and he was in a new barbershop, and he was excited to see me, and the vibes were good. And then his girlfriend was there because she knew I was coming, and he said, hey, my friend Michael's coming, come meet him. I think that's how it went down. So he starts to cut my hair, and I'm having a conversation with her, and I find out within a minute, no, he said, I saw your videos about the emotion code, and she perked right up. She said, what's that? And he said, oh, I haven't told you about that yet. She said, well, what is it? And she got really excited about it. And I started talking about trapped emotions. She said, oh, my whole neck and shoulder, I was in an accident. I could hardly move it. It's so sore. And his girlfriend said, her boyfriend, my barber, agreed and said, yeah, she's got sore neck. So I said, you know what, you go get me a glass of water. And when Buddy's done with my hair, we're going behind the partition, right? So the barbershop had some people in it by this time. So her and I go at the back of the barbershop, and I get my magnet, I'm drinking water, and with probably, and this is not an unusual case, it's quite common, I think in under 7 minutes, I identified all the trapped emotions that were in her neck. And I said, well, test it. And she goes, oh my God, they're gone. And then she runs up to her boyfriend, my barber, and said they're gone, and people were listening, and it was all very, very exciting. So that's what I like doing. It's just going somewhere and surprising somebody and healing their pain. I also want to give a shout out to one of our friends here on the show that's been watching. She is from Australia, and she had ringing in the ears. So if anybody read the post about, hey, Michael, can you help me with ringing in the ears? And I thought, you know what? I like my Australia friends. So I booked a little 15-minute appointment just to test the ringing of the ears, because I didn't know. Remember, John, I think I asked you. I said, can we work on ringing on the ears? And said, I don't know, try it. Well, 3 days later, she emailed me and said one of the ears was 100% gone, and that was trapped in a certain age, and she remembered that. And the other ear, there was still about 30% left, and she remembered the age. So I want you to hear this. That was in a 15-minute session over Skype. I'm in Victoria, BC, Canada, and she's in Australia, and I healed the ringing in her ears, or fixed it, or she fixed it. Guess what? Energy fixed it. So, John, I'm going to go. Why don't you tell us about a client that you had this week that was of interest and our friends at home might want to hear about?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've got a lot of clients contact me for various concerns. Some people I'm working with on learning and able to absorb information a little bit better, a little bit quicker, myself included. So it's great for everyone to, for kids, especially at school. Probably half a dozen kids I worked with this week on that subject alone.
Oh,
And
exciting.
like, yeah, I remember coming home from school with homework and maybe a little resistant, and a lot of kids, well, this week and last week, a lot of kids were resistant to doing homework, and that helps quite a bit. Yeah,
That's exciting.
yeah.
Shout out to my sister Diane, who called me from the senior home this week when my mom, she fell and they called her. And so my sister went to nurture her and stuff and I love that my two sisters can do that. And Diane texted me and she said, Mom's got a lot of phlegm. Can you help? Well, I don't know. It's not in the book, but I'll try it. So my sister calls me on the video phone. My mother thinks it's a real video that she's watching. She doesn't get it that it's me. And of course, John, you know that we need to have permission, right? So I said, hey, Mom, can I help you with your throat, your phlegm? And she said, yes, not really knowing. Well, that's all I needed. And honestly, I cleared really hoarse. My mom was coughing. I cleared all of that in like probably 8 minutes. And Diane said, oh my God, Michael, this is crazy. And my mother, when she had a stroke, she got confused. So now she's still connected. I thought, well, I'm going to do something else. So I started asking. I said, being my mother, I said, do I have any trapped emotions that are causing me to be confused? And it said, yes. So I thought, well, I want to release them all. And then my sister came back, and my mother's watching me do this session, and I get megged. She doesn't know what's going on, but she knows it's live because I'm talking to her. So I'm going to hear from my sister today. And after that, she said, I want to take Mom for a walk to see if she's become unconfused with trapped emotions. Wouldn't that be a miracle? Well, it wouldn't be a miracle. It's called the releasing of trapped emotions. So I guess I had met multiple emotion code success stories this week. John, who sang what, please?
There's a lot of questions, a lot of hellos.
Okay.
How about a question? Can we take a question?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Kevin Hune has a question. Says, hey, all, love the t-shirt, Michael.
Hey.
Question. Once a body code emotion code session is done, like John did for me back in June last year, will new blockages surface that may have been unnoticed from a past session? Absolutely, Kevin. Yeah, you can have layers and layers and layers of built up trapped emotions from different areas in your life. And so what comes up on the surface in one session, that's cleared, but maybe something from a different point in your life next comes to the surface and create a different block or contribute to the same block that you're having. So there is some maintenance that's required to flush out all the emotions that's contributing to your concern.
Yes. Now, so I'm going to skew the answer a little bit. When it comes to a chronic pain, when that's gone, that's gone. But I know if you're talking about money blocks and business blocks, there are, when I meet my client for the second time, it's not ones that we missed before. I want to make sure we're not saying that. We got them the first time, but now there's a new block because you want to do something different that's not quite like what you want to. You know what I mean? So you're right. There's layers that need to be identified by different areas. But when it comes to chronic pain, when they get rid of it, I've never had anybody say, oh, it's back. And if it's back, it's not what we removed. It's something different and new. So hopefully we helped and not hindered. Good stuff.
Yeah. Sylvia Bellina is here with us this morning too,
hey,
or this
Sylvia,
evening.
It's the afternoon for her, London, England area.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of comments here. Christine Bottoms Robinson. I'm a great manifester. Need to work with the idea of something being too big or too hard to manifest.
Yes.
Do you want to touch on that, or should I keep going?
Let's talk about that. I need to work with the idea of something. Now, already I know that she's auditory just by that sentence. Hey, shout out to my second book, Law of Connection. So I'm going to answer the question that would appease that style. She said, I need to work with the idea that something being too big or too hard to manifest. So I'd like you to hear that you can, let's see, something that's too big or too hard to manifest. what I want to say is it's not the size of the manifestation you want, it's the amount of resistance that you have in manifesting it. So I think there's a belief here, and your belief is that if it's something too big or too hard or too grandiose for me, I can't attract that. So that could be a belief for you to take a look at. Yeah, and it'd be interesting where that belief came from, and we could find out that through emotion code. But you know what? I care less about where it came from, and I just want to get rid of it. But some people like to be a little bit nosy. I hope that helped, Christine. Good. Well, Eleanor Freeberry, she is a fitness trainer. Oh, wow. I have tinnitus, too. I'm going to try the emotion code on it. John, I know that you've been practicing for many years. Tinnitus, can you tell us about that? Have you worked with that? And am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yes, you are. Yeah, that's ringing in the ears. That's the medical term. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's helped. It's helped my dad. He had it, and then we did a bunch of sessions on that, and his hearing got better, and which is amazing. It's apparently never happens, but his hearing improved.
Good. Hey, I'm seeing a note from one of our regular friends, Kathy Worth. She's saying, hello, I really enjoyed last week. I want to attend an emotion code session or seminar. I live in Winnipeg, and I'm planning to be on the West Coast around the 9th of April. Is there anything scheduled in Victoria, Vancouver during this time frame or early to mid-April? Well, the closest I'm going to be to you is I'm going to be in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, doing a full-day seminar, law of attraction in the morning, NLP in the afternoon. I shut her down at 3 o'clock. I bring out a glass of water and the magnets of the chart, and I razzle dazzle. So I wish I had the date on that, and it's probably behind me on my calendar. So, John, why don't you read the next question, and I'm going to find out the date for Kathy. Go ahead, please.
Absolutely. Yeah, lots of questions here. So I'm going to say hello to Leon Lewis. Hi, Leon. Hi, Michael and John. I've been watching this inspirational show from the beginning, and I'm a huge supporter of all of you.
Thank you.
I enjoyed my recent emotion code session with John. Shout out to him. He has great customer service. Thanks, Leon. Question, do we only inherit ancestor emotions at the time of our conception, or can we inherit family ancestor emotions after the fact? Thank you.
Good question. I mean, I'd like to hear your answer.
Yeah, so inherited emotions is the time of conception. So that's when you take all that in. There's other terms we would use for an emotion if we took it on from someone else. Like you can actually absorb an emotion from someone. Like if you're close to them and you're consoling them and you're in a state where you can take that on, we'd call that an absorbed emotion, absorbed trapped emotion. Yeah. Prenatal as well in the womb, that's fairly common. If your mom and dad or brother or sister are going through something, some overwhelm or frustration, jealousy, you can take it on in the womb as well.
Yeah. So there's 3 stages then. There's one in the egg or sperm, right? That comes with your parents.
Yeah. Or grandparents or great grandparents.
Yes. And then the next part is the prenatal. And I often find trapped emotions between 6 and 9 months, usually between 6 and 7 months in the womb. And it surprises me. And I triple check. I said, really? But here's the other thing that happens. When that happens, it's usually the big breakthrough. Like and it's like, wow, that was it. That was the one. Imagine having that trapped emotion your whole life. It would definitely shape. And then there is trapped emotion that we get on our own. So those are 3 areas. And when we find the trapped emotion as a practitioner, we also, it'll tell us, is it mine? Is it inherited? Is it my grandmother's grandfather? Which one? Is it 10 generations, 20 generations? So it's pretty fun to watch that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Great question. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, great question, Leon. Yeah. Caroline is watching live for the first time. Hi, Caroline.
Hey, Caroline. Our friend David Talbert's asking, how do we know if it's a trapped emotion that's blocking our allowing? No, yeah, we
ask. Just ask. Yeah, just ask. We don't know. We can ask. Yeah.
That's a good question. Like, for example, this is muscle testing, right? So this is a yes and this is a no, right? So I'm going to try your question here. Do I have any trapped emotions? So let's just say, so do I have any trapped emotions that's blocking me from allowing to do a large convention in Victoria? Do I have trapped emotions that are stopping that? Yes, I do. So is it, so see how I'm getting the yeses here? Is it blocking my allowance? So it's trapped emotions that are blocked. So when released, it'll open up the valve. Yes, so that's how you would ask. So you can ask yourself lots of questions when you understand how to do muscle testing, and that was a great question for you. Okay, what's next, John? Who's next?
Riri is watching today and shared it. That's great. We said hello to Kathy and Ellie. Diana Tejada says hello.
Hey, good morning, Diana.
Oh, and a question from Amber. Hi, Michael. How do you release emotions related to holding weight?
Okay. Hey, first I want to do a shout out to Amber, who's hosting the Edmonton seminar, and it is on April 22nd. So Amber, if you're watching, please provide the link so people can find out more about that. Now, I want to talk about the weight because John and I did some body code sessions, and the body code session is different than emotion code, although it uses the emotion code. John would have, because of my receipts and my results, John would have found beliefs that I had about that. Now, I grew up in a family of fat men, lots of them. So I heard it my whole life. You're going to be fat, you're going to be fat. So between the ages of 1 and 6, that's all I heard. And then after the ages of 7 to now, I've done everything I can to prove that point. Till I met John, right? So on my own, I did trapped emotions in different layers. So, I'm not a doctor, but I was a fatter guy, and I know what I'm talking about. So here's what I did. I did trapped emotions to find out if I had any trapped emotions that are stopping me from having 2 liters of water a day. If you're US, that might be a gallon-ish, whatever, right? So ask yourself, are you having 2 liters or a gallon of water a day? Should you? Could you? Yeah, I don't know. Test. Should I have, how many liters should I have? 1, 2, 2. I should have 2. There. I didn't have to ask John. I asked myself. So good. Then I did that. I drink like 10 of those a day just now. Never did it before. Guess what? You lose a lot of weight when you do that. The next question was, so that was the first session. The next session was, do I have any trapped emotions that are stopping me from having a protein drink in the morning, even though I have all the stuff? Yes, get rid of that. Guess what? Every day, 1 of those. Next one, do I have any trapped emotions that are stopping me from having 5 cups of raw vegetables a day? Yeah, I did. Yeah, now I don't. So instead of doing the overall, can I lose weight, I went to all the different elements. And then, do I have exercise and go to the gym in my building? Do I have the exercise of working out in my living room? All the different areas. They're all released. So you can break it down into that, or you can do more global. Thanks for the question. I should probably do a series where we're doing trapped emotions, like get 5 or 6 people on the line. We all do water. The next day we all do vegetables. The next day we all do protein, and just put people through the process.
Absolutely. Great idea.
Yeah, Pamela Wanamaker's given a nice compliment to your dad. It says, your father was great and very informative, John. Oh, I love her punctuation. I love that. She knew where to put the comma and everything. I so appreciate that. Thank you.
Great job, Pamela.
I'm not a judger either, but I like to see that. Well, good stuff. We're having fun here at the Hangout with Michael show. We got lots of people watching us live today. If you have a question, we're going to hang in for a few more minutes. And John, let people know what they could do to have an emotion code session with you or learn more about it. Where should they go?
Yeah, visit my site, aliveinpeer.com, and lots of information on the emotion code and body code on my website. Lots of videos that I've done with Michael, and easy way to book a session as well. I have online scheduling, so so sessions can be done. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. How do you do your sessions?
Over the phone, Skype, FaceTime, WhatsApp. And even the occasional email session. So if I'm working with a toddler or a child and you can't have that kid sit down for 45 minutes or 20 minutes, you can email me and I'll work on your son or daughter.
Good stuff. John, Cindy Trose has a question if you'd like to go read that. And for those of you that are interested in an emotion code session with me, you can go to hangoutwithmichael.com/emotion code. And you'll see my calendar there. You'll also see a little 9-minute video that'll explain the whole process. Imagine at the barber that the woman that I worked on had no idea I'm coming in with magnets and waters and charts. She went with it, but some people might need to see the process. Go to hangoutwithmichael.com/emotion code, watch a 9-minute video, and if you're inspired or there's something in your head that thinks, ooh, I need to have one of these, well, guess what? Go below. Now, next week I'm in Peru. John, did I brag about that? Yes, I did. I'm in Peru, Lima, Peru for 2 days, and I'm doing a full-day seminar on Saturday, and I'm one of 4 speakers on Sunday, so it'll be in Spanish. I'll have an interpreter, and which is fun. I get to say the joke, and the interpreter gets the laughs, but you know what? I can build a bridge and get over it. Lima, Peru is fun. John, tell us what Cindy's asking.
Yeah, Cindy has a question, but first I want to ask or read Rich's question.
Great.
Rich was, yeah. So how do you release a romantic obsession or heartache? And Rich is really enjoying the stream today. Yeah.
Hey, Rich, thank you. Can I answer that question?
Please.
Yeah.
It's your show.
I love this question because I've had great results and I've had other people have great results. And it's called the heart wall. So the heart wall is like a wall around your heart. And what is the wall made up of? John, say it when you see it.
Trapped emotions.
Trapped emotions or yellow cones. And this is what happens to me when I find out people's heart wall. In almost every case, I can actually tell them who they were dating. You were 24 years old, and this happened. And at the end of the session, they say, well, so it's like I go through all their boyfriends and all the trapped emotions that get lodged around their heart, and their hearts protects ourselves. And that's why people aren't finding, receiving, and sending love, is because a wall of these that are wrapped around your heart. So it's a specific session. The languaging's a little different, right? Because we're looking for heart wall trapped emotions and not just trapped emotions. And John, did you want to add anything to that answer?
Yeah, absolutely. So the heart is very, very smart. It's like a brain, and it builds this wall to protect itself. So when you go through tough times going forward, it doesn't hurt as much, which is good short term, but long term, it's not helping you. It creates that obsession, and it sends out that vibe of stuff from your past. So you're going to be, replaying those past vibes going forward. So more obsessions and attracting more of what you don't want into your life.
Yeah. And it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that they probably have the patterns their parents had, because they probably adopted some heart walls that their parents had, and they got onto them. So
absolutely. Inherited heart wall emotions are very, very common. Imagine if you had an inherited heart wall emotion of heartache.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Did you see Cindy's question?
Yeah. So Cindy's asking, is it possible to release trapped emotions on feral animals? I rescue feral cats and have them spayed and neutered. It would be helpful if they weren't feeling so much fear during the rescue process. Great question, Cindy. Thanks. Absolutely. Yeah, I've worked with a lot of dogs and cats and seen some amazing results.
Tell us
just try it. Yeah, absolutely. Just try it, Cindy. Release some trapped emotions, release, half a dozen on each dog or cat, and see how it goes. But yeah, I've seen amazing results with dogs and cats. Yeah. And horses.
Yes. Where's the horses? You're the horse whisperer.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just going to do a quick little check. John, that was a great answer. Cindy, hopefully that was helpful. I know that was helpful. I'm just skimming through here. It looks like we have addressed everybody. John, is there anybody that you think we didn't take?
Oh yeah, there's an extra one here from Frederick.
Yeah, I just saw Frederick. Frederick and Tenman. Is it your opinion that the athletic injuries are essentially energetically self-imposed? Well, John is the expert here because John specializes in chronic pain and injury that, sports people are having that don't need the ice and the medicine and the pills and the chiropractic, and love you all. But you know what, John, can you help us out here? So Frederick's asking about is athletic injuries are essentially energetically self-imposed. Now, I wouldn't say self-imposed, but they are definitely energetically. Comment on that for us.
They could be, absolutely. So there's two parts to what I work with injuries. So long-term injuries, chronic pain, injuries that aren't healing. You need to clear out all the trapped emotions from that area. So if it's your knee, clear out all the trapped emotions in your knee that's preventing your knee from healing, and that works. The other thing as well is that you maybe think you're healthy, but there could be some emotions in your knee or one of your organs and glands. And the organs and glands, they connect up to muscles in your body as well. So I think it's left knee and gallbladder. So if you have a trapped emotions in that area, and you go and injure your knee, it's probably because of there's already trapped emotions in there, or something imbalancing an organ or gland. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember working on a bodybuilder. I never met him before, and the screen popped up, and he was big. I mean, he was a big dude, right? And he said he had a hernia disc operation, but it was still in pain. And every time they looked at the X-ray, they would see the perfectly in alignment, and it was trapped emotions around that. And this guy stopped going to the gym because he had so much lower back pain. Now, the other thing, John, that you have great success with, because you specialize in sports people, is the mental part. You know, getting rid of trapped emotions that they're going to fail. Can you tell us a story about that, or how does this apply to the mental part of sports?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, a lot of sports is mental, and it's your mindset. And yeah, athletes, when performing and want to win, they're putting a lot of pressure on themselves. So I've done sessions with athletes that we just clear a ton of emotions and other imbalances, and they perform better, and they start winning, and they play better with their teams. And yeah, absolutely.
I know you're working with the client right now. You'll tell us in another meeting about the success, but it's quite a success story. And it was mental work that you did with this person, helping them clear limiting beliefs. So we're going to save that story for another day. You know what? We had an awesome time here today. John, thanks for being so generous with your time and your questions. We loved everybody's participation. My hunch is that you heard something today that uplifted you and inspired you and really gave you some good high vibes. If that was the case for you, I'd love to have you share this show on your Facebook page, or just share it on your Facebook page. You'll let friends know about it. We love having you here every Friday. And we will see you next week. Next week's episode, you're so going to want to be here next week. Next week's episode number 183. It's Law of Attraction and Money. So are you wondering why you're not receiving money the way you want to? Join next week's panel. We're going to talk about what you need to do, know, have, so you can become more abundant. I promise. Hey, if you want to be reminded of that show, and we'll let you know on Wednesday, go to hangoutwithmichael.com, subscribe, and we'll make sure you're on the list to be notified live so you can find out what's in your faucet that's stopping you from attracting money. John, what's your closing comments, please?
Well, thanks for having me on the panel again here, Michael. The smallest panel ever, a great duo. So really enjoyed it today.
It's an all dudes panel. Hey, shout out to Dana enjoying a seminar today.
Yeah, and I like the in the background there, your new.
Isn't that awesome? Hang out with Michael. That's very fun. Well, John, thank you very much for joining us. We are going to shout out, say hello to everybody, and join us next week on Hang Out with Michael.